Welcome. In this edition, we'll start with the Yojana edition for August. And here, the very first thing that we start is India as a global innovation powerhouse with strategic national innovation funding increasing across areas, with RDI screen corpus having the highest funding. With next with the ANRF, then we have the R&D budget and the deep tech funds of funds. Now, the most important thing is along the digital public infrastructure that we have, nearly 204 million plus transactions have been processed. There are more than 7 lakh open networks which have been provided and sold online. And then the digital economy share of the GDP has grown by 20%. We are also seeing nearly 1400 patents for various grassroots level innovation and more than 120 technologies which have been transferred to market. Healthcare alone has nearly 700 million plus accounts under Ayushman Bharat mission. And then agricultural workers or other workers, we are working with Agriculture 4.0 that talks about infusing the ideas of IoT, AI and modern technology. In education, nearly 10,000 new PM research fellowships have been given for art, engineering and science background. Now we have few of the important grassroots innovators that have really made impact. So two of them we have been focusing here, and they are Pandit Ram Mandavi, and he is one of the very well known preservers of Muria wooden art from Bastar region in Chhattisgarh. He is known for his craft and wooden work, swords, bows and things that are being generated from wood carving. The next one is Dr. Venkappa Ambaji Sugetkar, and he is known for Gondhali folk music, and this is from Karnataka. Now he has memorized more than 1000 songs and 150 long form stories, and this tradition has been passed to his students, training nearly more than 1000 students with this. He has been recognized by Prime Minister and has received nearly 30 prestigious awards. Now to counter terrorism, there have been various strategies that we have adopted. Some of those includes shift towards a decisive and a proactive posture, focusing on military responses, talking about multi-agency centered intelligence sharing, focusing on the insurgency disruption, diplomatic collaboration from other nations and other organizations like UNSC, focusing on countering the funding for terrorism and countering the radicalism. Now, if we have seen, we have the timeline from Mumbai attack to Uri to Pulwama and Pahalgam, and through this period we have witnessed various changes. And under this strategy, if we see that the Lashkar-e-Taiba has been acquainted with most of the cases of terrorism in India, and the remaining by other groups. Now, the disruption strategy includes, first of all, targeting the recruitment, the focus on hybrid cater to stop the growth, then dismantling the financial and logistic support systems and securing our borders. Now, online propaganda machine and is one such way through which terrorist groups actually have sophisticated virtual campaigns to spread their ideologies and mobilize support. Then we have one of the major incidents in 2022 which saw online radicalization and was witnessed in two violence attacks in Udaipur in Rajasthan and Maharashtra. So various engagement platforms are being brought for proactive counter-terrorist fundings, and this includes Interpol, FATF, G20, UNSC, no money for terror incentives, and then we have multi-layer, bilateral and regional coordination to stop it through various ways. The next is Sanskrit. Sanskrit is one of the very ancient languages and traditional languages of India, and how we have made this ancient heritage a modern relevant study. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to retrieve the so-called dead languages of India and make sure that how their grammar is more precise with artificial intelligence and computational linguistics. So institutions like Harvard and Oxford have already been working with Sanskrit literature, the Sanskrit philosophy and culture. we are also trying to revitalize the national education policy and bring in the various approach for spoken and digital languages. There are challenges that need to be addressed, specifically in the form of translation, modernizing, better teaching methods that could be provided to combat the outdated technologies and promote inclusion. Also, through Sanskrit, we are trying to gain our presence for Ayurveda, yoga, and philosophy, and create a meaningful dialogue across the globe. Now, revitalization of Sanskrit is very, very important. And if we see the old perception versus the new perception under the new education policy, we are aiming to have a more expanded view of Sanskrit, and also it helps as a bridge between philosophy, linguistics, cognitive science and digital technology. So our innovative approach focuses on simple standard Sanskrit, Sanskrit through Sanskrit, and oral focused learning for Sanskrit. And then we have Sanskrit, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Odia. All of these are part of the unified framework of Indian languages and a vision for holistic framework. So that's again important. The next is good health for India. So under Ayushman Bharat, we have become the world's largest public health assurance scheme to give financial protection to more than thousands of families. So what has been done under the impact is nearly 80 crore ABHA cards have been created. Nearly 1.7 lakh Ayushman Arogya Mandirs have been created. We have services worth of 1 lakh crore and hospital admissions more than 9 crore, which have been done through Ayushman Bharat, both in the private and the public hospitals. Also, the ABHA IDs have gone on a record high. So this actually has a person visits the local center, they link it to the ABHA ID, then the cashless service is provided, and finally every follow-up is maintained through the digital support system. The next is India has agriculture as one of the major backbones and is a significant contributor of nearly 18% to the GDP. If we talk about employment, it contributes nearly 46% of the agricultural workforce, and therefore focusing on the government schemes for agriculture become important. So concessional credit Kisan cards, minimum support price and fertilizer subsidies are some major initiatives. Along with that, innovation and research through ICAR is one very important step. Economies of scale for farmer producer organization is important. Now under the farmer producer organization, there are individuals transforming the collective forces. So we have a collective input, then the technology is adopted, the value is added, and finally the market is linked. So what are the unique farmer IDs? So it could be related to crop data, land data, procurement, digital card, and finally this is given through the Sathi portal to ensure the seed quality assurance, which could be very well traced and ensures higher income and food security. Now the next is India's steel industry. Now steel industry is very, very important. If we talk about the ancient times, we have the arsenals being used by Rani Lakshmi Bai, by Tipu Sultan. Under the Mysore war, we had the iron cased rockets that were used. Now all of these technology came through steel and the core fundamental metals, right? So what is very, very important, in 1815, Raniganj coal field was discovered, which was a very important source of coke. Then we had the railway revolution in 1849. Then there was a new fuel source and steel production that started in 1899. And this was where we started to bring our industries at a very good foundation. So 1903 to 1904, we saw hematite ore in Odisha. Then there was a construction for first integrated steel plant by TISCO at Jamshedpur. In 1912, we started the first steel ingots in Jamshedpur, and then during the First World War, there was a significant increase in the demand. In 1947, we saw a steel capacity at nearly 1 million ton, and today India is the world's first producer in crude steel. The growth in the steel production has gone from somewhere around 1 million tons to nearly 150 million tons, which is a very, very steep increase increase, we can say it's an exponential rise in the steel industry in India. So those were some of the key things that have been covered in Yojana this month. However, we have covered the complete summary for Yojana on exam race in current affairs section, so don't miss that. The complete handouts would be available there. Thanks for joining us, and in case you have any questions or queries, feel free to connect back to us on the number below. Have a great day.